Greetings from Podcastville. Kick this motherfucking muley. It's Monday morning.
Shit, it all starts fucking today, all right? No more fucking excuses. This is the year of the fucking soldier. We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.
Oh shit. Monday morning. One of my favorite brothers is on here tonight, the original Son of Anarchy, Dean motherfucking Delray. We're here to discuss something that a lot of people don't even know what's happening. I just realized I got a drunk message the other night from a friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name, of many years, and this is what he said to me, Dean.
Yeah.
He goes, go. Man, I'm sitting here. I'm sorry. I don't know what time it is out there with those fucking crazy people. Because that's how he talks to me. He's like, Jersey ain't no fucking better. I'm over here living with my fucking mother, making fucking whatever, working at Home Depot because I can't get a fucking job. He goes, but I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something that I'm going to regret for the rest of my fucking life. Not going to see ACDC with you that fucking night. I fucking didn't have the money because we went to get him.
Yeah.
You know that guy that said he was going to go? We went to get him and you threw rocks in his window?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have the
Won't answer the door.
He didn't have the $15.
Yeah.
And he didn't fucking go see ACDC that time.
And he didn't really want to go.
For him to still hold it.
Wow.
And I was like, what is he talking about? And I hit him back the next morning. I go, what the fuck is your problem? And he goes, oh, man, I'm sorry. What did I say to you? I was a little fucked up. I go, nah. You were talking about ACDC. He goes, remember that time when Brian Johnson took over? And I'm like, oh, my God. He goes, it's the 40th anniversary next week. I just heard it on somebody was talking about it. And he goes, I just realized how much fun you guys had. Because the next night we fucked with him. Like, we tricked him and told him a bunch of lies. But it made me think about that night. And I go, I've never talked to Dean Delray about that.
Oh, yeah.
So let's educate the fucking public and explain to them what happened between, like August of 79, what happened February 19th.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was August 1st of 1980. For you, it was a couple of weeks later.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Well, you got a record that comes out, Highway to Hell. And for a lot of people, ACDC was still an underground band. But the true rockers were on to Power Age. Sin City was the big kind of, this is the tune. And they put out Highway to Hell with Bon Scott. They bring a new producer in, Mong Lang, instead of the uncles. And this record sounds unbelievable, Highway to Hell. And then Bon Scott dies. And to me, back then, if a singer died, you were just like, well, that's it. They're done. Nobody got another sing. I mean, the momentum was just starting to happen big time. Everybody started to know Highway to Hell, and then it was just done.
How big was the Highway to Hell tour? Explain to people.
It wasn't that big.
I saw them with Ted Nugent at the Garden. It was big for me.
Yeah.
It was big for me to see a guy take a guitarist on his shoulders and go through the orchestra section.
Insane.
And go through all the way around during the song. I had never seen that. I had never heard of that. At the time, I wasn't Johnny experienced in music. It's not like I had seen The Doors or anything like that, but it was probably my fifth concert. And that made me, like, I went there to see Ted, but I left there a Highway to Hell fan. Like, I left there an ACDC fan. Like, I went home. Until this day, it's still my best. I think it's the best 1-2 punch in music. Touch Too Much and whatever. Walk All Over You and Touch Too Much. That's the big, on any album, any album. I think second is maybe Johnny Blade to Junior's Eyes. Yeah. I'll Never Say Die. Just two songs that come at you that you're like, what the fuck just happened to my hair? What the fuck just happened? So take it from there. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's true. It's just like Diary of a Madman, where you go into over the mountain into flying high again. It's like, wow, Ozzy. But they were big ACDC, but they hadn't done the big room in San Francisco yet, the Cow Palace or Oakland Coliseum. They did Henry J. Kaiser, which is kind of a smaller, I'd say 7,500 seater.
It's still there?
It's still there. And that's where I saw Priest, Def Leppard, ACDC. It was just a smaller room before you went to the big one. But what was happening with ACDC, that as an older adult now in the entertainment business, that I look at it, they definitely had somebody behind them that was really working the machine, because at the same time that was going, they shot that film, Let There Be Rock. And that film, if you look at it, is so pro. And the sound and the look and everything. And it was played in movie theaters. I mean, I was a kid, bought a ticket and saw it in a movie theater. And so there was definitely somebody behind this band was starting to work it. New producer, radio hit with Highway to Hell, but still not giant yet. But really, all the cool people were listening to AC/DC. You know what I'm saying?
So you had heard of them? Because usually you didn't go see the opening band, is what I've heard from you guys.
Well, I had seen him, like Joey, open for Ted Nugent, but in 78 on the Power Age tour. I went to go see Ted Nugent. I didn't know any of the other bands on the bill, and I left that day a fan of every one. It was Cheap Trick, AC/DC, Journey with Steve Perry just joined, Blue Oyster Cult, Ted Nugent. That was the first time I saw AC/DC, and I was just kind of like, oh, wow. All these bands I listen to this day from that one show. But, by the time I'm into AC/DC, from that day on, I'm a huge fan. I get Let There Be, or If You Want Blood, the live record. I just play it day in and day out. So when Highway to Hell came out, I bought it immediately the day it came out. So I become a Bon Scott freak, of course, because everybody liked Angus, but I was looking at Bon like, who's this guy? He was the first guy I saw with tattoos in a band. He's up there, no shirt on, tattoos, big old fucking tattoos, which I read later he hated. They got him in the Merchant Marines. I thought he got him because he was like, I'm getting tattoos, I'm a badass. But he got him in the Merchant Marines. He had a parrot, a big old parrot on his arm. So, when he dies, to me, it's like, well, this is done. I've told the story before. The radio got it wrong. I was going to school. It came on the radio. This just in, Angus Young has died in AC/DC. My mom dropped me off at school. I was like, Angus Young died. And then later on that night, I found out it was Bon. And then I had to look through the paper. The Chronicle, it was in the back. Little fucking thing. Bon Scott died like the next day, I was like, well, Bon died. There was no internet or anything. It wasn't on the Channel 7 news. They didn't care about AC/DC. It wasn't like first story up. It was a dude in a band. So he's dead. And I'm like, wow, it's over. It really is over. There's no way you're going to come back. There's no way you're going to get another singer and come back. That just didn't happen back then. So in March 26, Van Halen releases Women and Children First record. And I go, well, this is, I loved them both. I go, this is the band now. Women and Children, incredible record. This is it. AC/DC's done. And there's no internet, like I said. So you're not hearing that they're looking for a singer. I'm not hearing that at all. I'm not hearing they're working on a record. None of that. As a matter of fact, I looked it up, Joey, last night because you were saying, hey, you get your thoughts together on it. I don't even remember them announcing they got a new singer until about a week before the record was coming out. It was like, AC/DC's got a new singer, and the record will be out next week. I'm like, new singer? This is insane, and I mean, just like now, they would have done a documentary, The Search for the Singer. You would have saw a film on it. It would have been a million guys coming down. You would have been seeing all kinds of lunacy, terrible people, all that. But back then, nothing. And all of a sudden, I remember I was in Fresno. My dad lived in Fresno. And I heard there was a station in Fresno called KKDJ, rock station. It was fucking great. They said ACDC's new album is out tomorrow. Get it in all stores. It's called Back in Black. I rode a bus for an hour. And this is funny to think about. In Fresno is gnarly. Here I am, I guess 1980, 13 years old, rode a bus all the way to Tower Records on Blackstone Avenue in Fresno. I walked in, there it was. They were playing it. You know, I go, oh, is this it? They go, yeah, this is it. I go, okay, here. And I just bought it, and I walked out, got on the bus, another hour ride home, just looking at it. No photos of the band. It's inside. I didn't want to open it yet. Just a black cover, the back, looking at the song titles. I got home, opened it up. I was weird because I would just take the shrink wrap and perfectly slice it so I had the shrink wrap so it wouldn't get trashed. It had that embossed cover. Embossed cover, the letters. I opened it up, slid it out. There was the photo of the band. You know, different guy. There's Brian. Hat down. Can't see what he looks like. He had the hat down. Just kind of, I put it on. First song, Hell's Bells. I'm listening to it. And I thought about this, Joey, last night for you. I wish I had a time machine just to go into the state of mind of like, it's completely a different singer. And it comes on, I go, oh, this is okay. And I listen to the next song, and then I listen to the next song, I go, okay. I play the record again, second time. Listen through, okay, I kind of like this song. Yeah, this one's good. I listen to it the third time. My dad's at work all day. I'm just playing it. I call a buddy, long distance call, you know. What do you think? I don't know, man. It's okay. It's, you know. And then the fourth time, I remember there's a song on there called Let Me Put My Love Into You.
Great guitar.
Great guitar. And it was like a song that they had never done before. They'd never done a song like that. And I was like, oh, I like this one and Hell's Bells. And then from that day on, I listened to that record and Women and Children back and forth all summer. And slowly, I was like, this is a fucking masterpiece.
It became a masterpiece. It's funny how I thought of the two albums that became masterpieces right in front of me. Back in Black. The second Def Leppard.
Oh, High and Dry.
That took a long time for it to catch fire. But when it took like 8 months for it to... Who releases an album? It either takes or it doesn't take.
Right.
They released it, went on the road, started blowing people out of the water. You left there and you went to get the fucking album. Like I've seen, you know, British Steel launched Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Hell Bent for Leather knocked on the door. British Steel kicked the fucking door down and just said, listen, we're coming in with whips, motorcycles, steam, you know, we're coming. It was just such a different time.
Breaking the law.
What was your guys' emotions? Like, did you not want to like the album because of the new singer?
I didn't know what to think because, of course, I'm a Bond guy. But you're talking about a different vocal. And the genius was he didn't imitate Bond. So later on, of course, I become obsessed with ACDC. And I heard that maybe the Crocus guy was going to audition. And I thought, I'm glad he didn't get it because he sounded like Bond. They did a genius move not getting a Bond sound-alike. I did read early on, you know, here's this guy that's from a band called Geordie. I never heard of no Geordie, and I'm a music freak back then. He was in a band, Geordie. Bon Scott had seen him one night and told the band, fuck, I just saw one of the greatest singers ever. If I'm ever gone, you got to get this guy.
Whoa.
Yeah. And he said, you're not going to believe this dude. He's rolling around on the floor. He's going crazy. And when they talked to Brian about it, he goes, yeah, what he didn't know, mate, was I had appendicitis that night. So he was on the floor because his appendix burst. And he's singing like, he didn't know what was wrong with him. He's just singing the gig, but his appendix ruptured or whatever. And so he was on the ground, and Bond thought that was his thing. How great is that? But, if you listen to Geordie, his other band, he doesn't sound like the Brian Johnson of ACDC. So there's some serious genius in there. When they come in...
Mutt Lang. I read something that Mutt Lang worked with him fucking detail by detail.
Yeah.
That Mutt really... I had never even known Mutt was on that album.
Oh, my God.
I know Mutt from, like, the Def Leppard albums and shit
Right.
like that. I had no idea Mutt Lang was on that fucking album, but I read last night or the night before, just to be prepared for you, that Mutt worked with him to have a specific sound, they worked really hard in the studio. I think I read it on Wikipedia. I think I read 3 different articles on Back in Black. Fucking all interesting. The cover, they almost didn't release it.
Right.
The cover's black.
Right.
Out of mourning for Bon Scott.
Of course.
But the record label didn't want to release it because it was black. They said nobody would buy it. Nobody's going to buy it if it's black. And ACDC pushed, and they released it July 25th. It's a shame that it's been 40 years. Like, that's why I'm doing this podcast. It's like a fucking, I'm mourning it. Like, it's been 40 fucking years of my life. Like, I left August 4th, 1979, and I ran home and bought Highway to Hell.
Wow.
I'm not going to lie to you. I did not have Highway to Hell before I saw him. After the performance of him in the audience and going through and Whole Lot of Rosie, you know, all that shit, I fucking went. And my order was Highway to Hell.
Dirty Deeds?
No. Highway to Hell. Let There Be Rock. And then I got Power Rage.
Oh, yeah.
And Power Rage really became like Highway to Hell was something. Let There Be Rock is brilliant.
Oh.
But Power Rage was just something a little different.
Yeah.
It's got 2 jams on there that I normally wouldn't like. It's not my style. He sold them to me.
Yeah.
Get yourself a steady job, some responsibility.
Yeah, Down Payment Blues.
That is just brilliant. The lyrics, just the way he's spitting them off.
Can't even feed my cat.
Yeah, Social Security, hiding from the rent man. All this shit, it reflects on what's going on right now.
Right.
Sheriff knocking on my door. Ain't it funny how the time flies?
Crazy.
All that shit. I just fell in love with it, So for me, it was like when Dio's wife was in here, Ronnie James, God bless his soul. A lot of shit happened. You and I were very lucky that we got to see 3 major changing of the guards. We got to see Sabbath change guards, ACDC change guards, and then Van Halen.
Van Halen.
I still remember being in Colorado, maybe 85. I was a kid. I was a baby.
Yeah.
And we used to have, if you lived at the hotel, if you were security or a valet, whatever those people who carry luggage, if you lived in employee housing, you had to share a kitchen and you had to share a living room.
Oh.
And we were all kids in there. Like, I was 21 or something. The girl I was with was 21. The other guy was 24. And then there was that one loser that was 40.
Yeah.
And he was still a bellman.
He's like, hey, man, this is teenager job.
I still remember that dude.
Yeah.
I still remember his first name. It was like Brian. And I remember that we were all watching like Michael Jordan fucking somebody up. Like it was one of those days when Michael Jordan was on fucking fire.
Yeah.
I think he was still in Chicago. I don't even fucking know. He was still in Chicago. He was either in Chicago or in North Carolina. I just know we were watching basketball because the dude I hung out with was from North Carolina. So that's all he talked about. Like, you couldn't even bring it. He only talked about North Carolina basketball, coke, and pussy.
Yeah.
That's all he talked about.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
He was always...
One of those guys, you're like, you got nothing else, huh?
I love him.
Yeah.
He was one of my closest buddies.
Yeah.
him and his brother were my closest buddies. They were dynamite. But there was this loser guy that nobody kind of liked. When you're 21, when I was 21, if you were 28, you were an old man. Like,
Absolutely.
What are you talking to me for, bro?
Absolutely.
Go get a fucking job. Like, when I was 21,
Yeah.
I would look at older guys like, what are you doing here?
All the time.
I'm over here trying to talk to this 22-year-old. You're breathing down my neck. What's the matter with you? Take it somewhere else, all right? You fucking... Like, if I saw a 30-year-old, my blood pressure would boil.
Yeah.
When I was 21, and I was at a bar, and I was talking to 22-year-old chicks, and I saw you there with your greasy hair, talking about your car and how you're a real estate agent. We just fuck you up when we were kids.
Yeah.
You either get robbed, we take your
I don't know if
wallet.
you had rules back then.
Yeah,
too.
there was rules.
What do you do?
Yeah, the only
always-
older guys around would be an older brother.
There would be an old man's bar.
Yeah.
They were known as old men bars.
Yeah.
Why are you here? And then they come up to you. You like Jimmy Page? No, I don't like Jimmy Page. You're too old.
Yeah.
Take the football shirt off and go be a father somewhere, right? Go bother somebody.
A
Go
starting quarterback.
You have
man.
no idea, like, how I see myself now. Like, how I see myself, like, when I walk into a place, I'm that old creepy fucking man.
Yeah.
So when kids come up to me, they're like, hi, Mr. Diaz, we'd like to take a picture with you. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Your mother taught you not to talk to people like me. That should be number one in your fucking mind. Because when I was 21, if you were 28 and I was at a bar and you came up to me and talked to me about something, I just looked at you like Val Kilmer. Looked at that guy in Heat. Remember when that guy spoke out of place? I had to kill him. And Val's like, Val just didn't even say a word.
Yeah.
Val said like 4 words in Heat. He didn't have to talk.
Yeah.
He just looked at you. He was like, so it was one of those. But I'll never forget this idiot. Like, we were all watching, and he's like, so who else is excited about Sammy Hagar singing with Van Halen? And we all like looked at him, looked at each other, and looked back at the TV. Like, it was like one of those, like, you're too old.
Yeah.
You're 38.
Just
You're
trying to
over the
fit
hill.
it.
Go
Just trying to
shoot
fit
yourself.
in with something like that.
Yeah, like, I hated that shit.
yeah.
When you were older and you were trying to fit in, like, I could see you being younger and trying to go up. But you're trying to work backwards. Don't work with me. Get the fuck out of here. Get your time machine and go fuck yourself.
It's funny how just people like, even when you're like 20, someone 25 just seems old.
Yeah.
Like, this guy doesn't know, man. You don't know music. You know what I mean? You don't know music. You're 25. It's so funny, right? Now I'm 54. I'm talking music for a living. Hilarious.
It's really, that's the only thing I've loved about this quarantine is that I really got to revigorize my music scene a little bit. It was getting a little stale on my own. I had to reach outside my normal comfort zone. I mean, I even listened to Johnny Cash live from Folsom, whatever. I mean, I did that many different things at night, like just to switch up the nights because I get so fucking bored at night. Unless there's something good on TV that I haven't watched or something. I'll look at the TV like at 6. If I don't see it, I didn't even know there was a fight on Sunday night, on Saturday night.
I never even know what day it is.
Yeah.
At all.
I don't know nothing. The only thing that's keeping me sane, really, is kind of music. Like I told you, we fell in love with Jar of Flies. Whatever.
Ah, so great.
The fucking
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains.
Speaking of that, the producer of Alice in Chains, his name is oh God, I'm drawing a blank right now. Dave Jordan. Dave Jordan did my podcast. He was working in the studio on another record where ACDC was doing Back in Black in the Bahamas.
The Bahamas, yes.
And Mutt Lang, he ran into Mutt Lang in the kind of the kitchen area. It's like, hey, what are you working on? He's like, I'm working on the new ACDC record. And he said, the singer died, right? And he goes, yeah, they got a new singer. You want to hear it? Dave Jordan told me the story on my podcast. He went in there and he said they fired up a track and he was like, wow, this is going to be fucking huge. Like, he was the first guy to hear it. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like. The band's in there, they're tracking. Hey, you want to come in and hear a track? That's just head exploder to me.
So that was a question I had for you guys. And obviously, you can't be like, oh yeah, in 40 years it's still going to be big. But when you were listening to it, did you like think this is a song I'll listen to forever? This is a classic, like because like some songs you listen to and they're gone in 6 months, but then some songs will be played forever. This song gets played every day on the radio.
Well, to me, that goes back to the mystery too of I don't know what kind of machine was behind them, but the way they were releasing these singles over a year period, and they shot 5 videos for it all in the same day, you know, the way they released this and the game plan of this record, it brought on the longevity, because I'm not a Shook Me All Night Long guy now, but by the time they drop that tune, it grabs the entire planet, and you know you've got a classic tune. This tune was a hit tune, you know? That thing, you hear it right now every day. Shook Me All Night Long? Oh, my God. So, I mean, when I heard it, I knew that I was going to be listening to Hell's Bells, at least that song, for the rest of my life. I think it's one of the most brutal songs ever recorded.
I think that's one of the hardest parts I'm having with my age and my time on this planet, that, you know, I have Sirius in the car. It comes with the car.
Yeah.
It's not like I knew anything to get Sirius. It's my most enjoyment that I have is that Sirius.
I love it.
Because I listen to 5 or 6 stations. I'm locked into Lithium. You know, I'm locked into whatever Metal, Hair Nation.
Ozzy's Boneyard.
Ozzy's Boneyard. I'm locked into classic 80s or something like that. You know, I'm logged into all these different things, and I just go. Lee has been in the car with me.
Yeah, I know all the stations.
I just go. I
love
you know, and it's till I find something. And you hear those songs, whether it's You Shook Me All Night Long. The song that broke me recently, about 6 months ago, was on the way to the store one night, coming back up Laurel Canyon and hearing Don't You Want Me Baby by...
Oh, yeah. Don't you want me, baby?
Listen to that song. How many times is it played every day? I still remember being at a club in New York City, which was a big deal for a guy like me back then, that summer of 82 when that song came out, and me having a crush on a girl and her going to get drinks for us. And she was walking, dancing to that song, and I remember like I fell in love. And I in that car that night on the drive home, I was like, Jesus Christ, did I know then that I would be listening to this 40 fucking years from now? 38 years. I'm
crazy.
Sorry about that. 38, 37 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, when I was growing up, you heard music from the 50s. Okay. Doo-doo.
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo, other night.
Bebop.
And Elvis. Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
That was old to me. That was as old as I went. When I listened to Chuck Berry and
that's oldies.
Aretha Franklin. You know, when I was a kid, my mom had all that shit at the bar. RESPECT and all that. Yeah, I lit. But 50s music was what I was listening to in the 70s. You know? That was as back as I went. You know?
Yeah, you don't go past that. Isn't
you don't
that
go
amazing?
past that.
You didn't go past that. That big band stuff.
Yeah, I didn't go past that. I didn't go. It's like now I'm a little bit mature, but there was a time when something was black and white, I wouldn't fucking even consider it. Like My Favorite Martian has color episodes, and black and white episodes. Like at one point they switched. Like, we're coming to you in color. Well, now you got me. That black and white shit spooks the fuck out of me when I was a kid.
My friend's dad, he refused it because he goes, we paid for a color TV.
Yeah.
We ain't watching black and white.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like now, you got to eat your words because
I love black and white.
The only black and white I would swallow was I Love Lucy.
Oh, I love Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and in the Twilight Zone, I
Lost in Space.
I looked the other way. You know what I'm saying? Lost in Space, you're not going to...
Leave It to Beaver?
No, I don't... all right, I'm going to lie.
Barney Fife? Andy...
Yeah, those black and whites. But anything else... Nah. And then as I got older, I had to go. When I started acting, I went back and looked at all like the fucking Rick Ramos made me look at all the when he was a gangster, you know.
Oh, James Cagney. Unbelievable.
Cagney.
White
And
Heat.
I started watching those like in 98,
White
99.
Heat.
I started watching those. And again, you know what? I appreciate them from time to time. I just don't want to see them all the time. Like Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah.
Is black and white. If you don't watch Jailhouse Rock, just put a gun in your mouth. Move to Portland and put a gun in your mouth. All right.
I'm not an Elvis guy.
Really?
No.
Listen, bro, there's a part of there's a little part of Elvis that, look, you know, the other day I was watching the autopsy of James Brown. That was brilliant.
Wow.
That motherfucker died and left his money to charity. Left a white wife and
he
his
cut
6
them all
black
out.
kids. Cut them off.
Yeah.
They're at a table like they couldn't believe it. He's like, I leave my $20 million. They're like, yeah. To charity. To a bunch of African-American kids I don't know.
Yeah. The
You
Boys and Girls Club of America.
Yeah.
See you later.
little black motherfuckers, get your ass together.
Yeah.
And you white hoe, with that little black kid, you should be ashamed of yourself. Your mama should have raised you better. Get out of here. They threw her off the estate.
Wow.
He cut everybody off. But the truth is, Prince, Michael Jackson, everybody robbed from James Brown. Not robbed. I'm not saying robbed.
Just borrowed.
I'm saying
Influenced.
they influenced. You know what I'm saying? Elvis
Yeah.
influenced
Of course.
a ton of people.
I get it.
Elvis was a hero the most,
But he never meant shit to me because he is straight out racist,
The
simple
fucker
and
was simple
plain.
and plain.
Motherfuck him and John Wayne.
Fucking John Wayne. They motherfucked John Wayne 30 years ago.
I know.
Now they're shooting John Wayne.
know.
For shit he said, how can you get canceled when you're dead? That's the one that really fucking kills me. Like, you're dead and you get canceled. When does it end?
Yeah,
How
when does
fucking
it end?
retarded are you?
When does
you
it
know what I'm saying? Poor Nick Cannon's over there with fucking
Oh, man.
with John Wayne. He's at the cemetery right now looking at him going, how does this work?
Man.
Poor Nick Cannon. You know, I know Nick Cannon since he's a fucking kid. I know him since he's a baby sitting outside, you know, with his parents waiting for him to be allowed into the improv. You know, listen, Lee, there's so many anti-Semitic motherfuckers out there. You know it.
Yeah.
You know they
I
fucking
didn't know.
hate
I
Jews.
didn't know it was such a big thing.
I didn't know it was such a big thing. I don't think he hates anybody. I just think he said something the wrong fucking way. And if you guys have been paying attention, it happened to somebody you know too. You said something the wrong way. But to take away everything for that, you leave him with a show that nobody wants to see. What good is that? That show Bailey, the headless singer. I don't want to watch that show. That's what you watch in prison. That's when you watch it, you're in prison.
I didn't even know he had
You get
shows.
excited about that. The fucking headless fucking...
The Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer. All right, it's time for the Masked
I would
Singer.
love to watch the Headless Singer.
Yeah, I want
That'd be a great show.
That's what I want to watch. I'm sorry. Keep going, Dean.
Yeah, well, you know, I think it was funny because you and I were talking. I looked up when I saw him, ACDC, and it was, you saw him a few weeks in.
I saw them the second night of the tour.
Right. Well,
They started July 31st in
Right.
Philadelphia.
Right.
On a Thursday. We saw them Friday night at the Palladium on a Friday.
I saw him, which is hilarious. So check this out. I looked it up, Joey. So they did a quick run in Germany, like a warm-up run. It was like 8 dates. Then they did like 6 dates in Canada. And then they dropped down and they did Pennsylvania, then Philly, like you said, and your date was the third date, Palladium.
Palladium.
I didn't see him until September 5th. So they had been cruising around America and they came to San Francisco and did the Cow Palace. And this was what's really crazy, Joey. I was so young at the time. They did 2 nights. They did the Cow Palace, and the next night they did the Henry J. Kaiser, which is way smaller, the same place they played on Highway to Hell. I would have loved to have seen him at that fucking place. Cow Palace is iconic and epic, but the Henry J. Kaiser was half the size. I never knew until about a year ago when I looked up the entire Back in Black tour. It was wild. Now, I looked at your set list, I wanted to see how much they were changing off of the set list.
How crazy is this? That 38 years later, 40 years later, we can find the set list of fucking tours.
It's great. I fucking love
crazy.
this.
How many nights did they do in New York?
They only did one night. I looked it up.
A Friday night.
Here it is. It's August 1st, 1980.
A Friday night.
And you got track 11, song 11 in the set, Rocker, which I had never seen Brian Johnson sing Rocker ever. So early on, they were probably trying the set list, working tunes in, some Bond songs.
Call out the set list.
Here's your set list. Hell's Bells. They opened every show with Hell's Bells. It had the bell.
Tremendous.
Then they went into Shot Down in Flames. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be.
Yep.
Problem Child.
Yep.
Back in Black. Bad Boy Boogie.
Okay, I'll tell you on your podcast what happened during Bad Boy Boogie.
Okay, sounds good.
And Timmy Holloway
is
going to fucking love it because he's going to fucking chime in.
Okay. Highway to Hell. What Do You Do for Money, Honey? High Voltage, Whole Lot of Rosie, Rocker, TNT, Let There Be Rock. It was only a 13-song set, but remember they had all the guitar solos and everything, so it's a long show. Yeah. Now, the interesting thing on this tour was it's one, two, only 3 songs from the new record, which is pretty wild, from Back in Black. Now, by the time they get to me, they do all the same songs you got, but I got, which is really cool, is I got TNT, which is pretty cool, and Shoot the Thrill. So they add another song in from the new record. You know, so it's pretty interesting to look at this. And I looked at the 2 set lists from the Bay Area. They switched one song. They did the Jack the next night, and instead of the Jack, I got Bad Boy or TNT. So pretty wild to look
fucking
at.
Crazy.
What's really crazy, though, you had to go to the show to see what he sounded like on the Bon Scott stuff. See, that was the test. You know, he opened with Hell's Bells. You're like, this is fucking great. Are they only going to play that Back in Black record? Nobody knew. Do they just play that record, or what are they doing? But no, they do Hell's Bells, and then they go right into Shot Down in Flames. And you're like, all right, he sounds a little different on this. You know, so you're hearing the Bond stuff for the first time live, but it's fucking loud. It's rocking, and people are going crazy. And eventually, you know, he starts to get the Bond stuff pretty damn good.
You know, there's nothing I love more, and I appreciate it more as a comic. And I appreciate it more now as a non-comic. Because now that we're comics and we're not doing comedy, you look at comedy a little different when you watch it. That's the other thing I've been doing. I've been dipping into the old guys I liked and watching their sets. A little bit of Kennison.
Yeah.
Fucking Rogan's podcast with Bob Saget was just brilliant.
Rad.
Did you listen to it?
Oh, yeah.
It was just, I talked about Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bombing in Philly. But he really
Saget had that Kennison stuff.
He had all
I mean, the Rodney stuff. Yeah,
stuff.
the weed and everything.
Oh, my God. He was saying some wild shit. So I went back and looked into all that. And you look at the presentation, like how I love to be sold, bro. I love for a comic. I love for a band. I love for a woman. I love for a man. I love for people to sell me. I always have.
Yeah.
Not with a gun, but with their artistic freedom, like
to win you over, you mean?
To win me over.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I've said it on this show 1,000 times. Before I leave the house to do comedy, from 2001 I started doing this because the only way you could get good as a comic is for cheering for your comics, for cheering for comics.
Yeah.
Once you really start cheering for comics, you'll start growing. Once you really tag on one comic, I'm going to follow this guy. I like his style. I'm going to see what he does. And you start managing his career in your mind, But I still remember watching comedy and them winning me over. Brian Johnson, Ronnie James Dio,
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar. You know, we would go getting, you know, opening bands. I had been so used to getting one over. I liked getting one over.
Yeah.
You know, I liked Michael Jackson when I went to see him. When I left there with going, you know what, man, that motherfucker's a bad motherfucker. Say what you want. You know, in 1984, I could lie to you and make up whatever fucking story you want.
Yeah.
I had whatever, 1999, whatever, Little Red Corvette. I don't even know what I heard.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Prince guy. The fucking song came out. My friend asked me to go see him. When I left there a fucking Prince fan.
Fuck,
You understand me?
Yeah, that's the
Well,
best.
like, it didn't matter. It didn't fucking matter what he was playing. I could put him up against anybody. Like, I knew when I left Prince in 1984, I could put him up against anybody. Like, that guy right there.
Yeah.
That little black dude, I could put him up to I could put him in the room with Glenn Tipton.
The best.
Like, I knew it when I left that day. He sold me. He told me everything he had to tell me. When I went to see the B-52s, the guitarist that died,
Yeah.
the one that's on the first two albums,
Right, yeah.
he fucking sold me. Eric Clapton sold me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tony Iommi. Jesus Christ. First time I saw Tony Iommi, I thought my fucking head was going to explode.
Yeah.
And the second time, it was even better because I knew the catalog. I knew what was coming at me. I knew the depth, the different chords. You know, like when you there's something about seeing a band. And now I appreciate. I fucking hate it when you. I fucking hate it when you fucking go to Dayton. And you fucking go to Dayton, Ohio, and you lay your fucking soul on the line for a weekend. And then your fucking agent books you in Columbus 3 weeks later. And you don't know it's 3 hours from Dayton. You're finding out when you land.
Yeah.
You're only an hour and a half from Columbus. And you're like, what? I was just there.
Yeah.
And when you walk off stage, you had a great set, but somebody comes up to you and says, hi, oh my God, we went to see you in Dayton 3 weeks ago. And you're like, fuck, fuck,
The worst.
fuck. They saw me doing the same fucking material. Now I get it. Now I'm not mad anymore.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Because guys like you and I, you know, as I started getting older, I started catching bands twice on a tour.
Always. Always.
Twice on a tour. Like you get hip to they're coming back to Philly in 6 months.
I ain't missing it.
And I would jump on the Philly wagon. And you go and you see what they replaced, what they didn't, you know.
Totally.
My first Ozzy show was at the Palladium. My second Ozzy show was at the Nassau Coliseum with a fucking castle.
Yeah.
You know, with a fucking castle.
Yeah. Diary of a Madman.
It grew that much in fucking 1 year.
Yeah.
It was 4 dirty white dudes with a Cuban, 3 dirty white dudes and a Cuban
Yeah.
on stage. That's it. No visuals, no
Nope.
nothing.
Just rock.
So he came back a year later with a fucking castle.
Lasers.
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 A fucking midget with a hump on his back like that. Just, yes, boss. Whatever. That's it.
The
That was his
lasers
only
would
job?
That was it.
The lasers would spin and say Ozzy.
Ozzy on it. It was
Wow.
fucking craziness.
Ah.
So now I understand when people would come to see me in Dayton, and
Yeah.
then 3 weeks later they would go, "Oh, we came to see you," and then you're like,
And different orders too. We do different orders and shit. However you feel, you walk on and you go, "Holy shit! I open with this tonight." You know. I'll tell you what, Joey. I read a crazy story on Brian Johnson's audition.
"Hit me."
So his manager calls him and says, ACDC's auditioning some people in London. They want you to come down. He's got no money. None. He's singing in this band, Geordie. He's got nothing. He goes, I'm not going out there. It's like an $18 ticket or something, a train ride. I don't have $18. The manager goes, I think I can get you a commercial, singing a commercial. I think it's for Hoover Vacuums. It just came out a month ago. Somebody found it. He goes, so you'll go out, you'll sing the commercial, you'll make some money, and then stop in and do the audition. He goes, fuck it, I'll do it then, you know. Or else he wasn't going to go. If he didn't have that commercial, he wouldn't have gone. He didn't have the money for a train ticket.
To this day, do you know anybody else they auditioned?
I don't. I don't.
Like that's what I would like. People.
That's what
always
I
say,
want to
like,
know.
People always go, "What would you pay for?" Like, what type of content would you pay for? You know what content I would pay for? The guitar auditions for Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Ozz.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because it was Michael Shankner.
yeah. I know.
It was a bunch of savages that came into that audition.
Yeah.
Supposedly he called Shankner a Nazi.
Oh.
And Shankner ran out of there, fucking Naziing him and saying shit in German to him. You know, I want to see those auditions. Like in that, what's that movie when, you know, it was based on Judas Priest?
Rockstar.
Rockstar.
Yeah.
With Marky
Wahlberg. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
It's great.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
You know, I love that fucking movie. I love how he had to go in and adjust. And, you know, that type of stuff has always made my dick hard. Why did you go with him? You know, this guy left, you replaced him with that guy, you know, that type of shit. It's funny how if you go online and look deep, you could see the first singer Black Sabbath had.
Oh, yeah.
Before Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, yeah.
And it was god awful.
Oh.
It was like two of them. It was god awful. Paul Walker or something.
Paul Walker.
Something weird is his name.
Yeah,
Walker.
Yeah.
It is god awful. There's 2 songs on there on YouTube. You got to look.
Whoa, I haven't heard that.
Really close. Yeah, they had from Savoy Brown.
Wow. Oh, that guy.
He was a singer from Savoy Brown.
yeah.
He was Black Sabbath. He did like 2 songs and they had a meeting. Listen.
Yeah.
Here's $1. You're going to come back. Here's $1. The train station. Go over there where they hit people with axe handles down the corner. Go over there and take the train home. Am I still in the band? Yeah. We'll call you. It's like the guitar player in Motley Crue. The chubby dude, the first guy when Mick Mars walked.
Oh, I
in.
love that one. Yeah,
And
you're out of here.
You're out of here.
Yeah.
What, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah,
I started that poor guy. Where is he today?
I know.
He's
Oh,
banging
man.
his head on a wall, you know.
Oh.
The Chinese guy in Soundgarden that quit after the first album.
Oh, the bass player.
The bass player.
He's great.
Yeah, he must be banging his head off a wall.
Dude,
for
that guy was fucking phenomenal, man. Oh, I'll tell you a funny, another funny story is, you know, those guys, they go out there, they get him in the band, and then he's got to move out there. You know what I mean? They didn't even got any money to move at the time. It's not like they're loaded, you know?
No, even Rudy has told his stories.
Yeah.
When he came out with Randy Rhoads and they put him up in a hotel.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it's like us being comics. And the first time you go on a triple run, you know, for 2 years you've been doing shit places. Your Bud D'Agostino calls you for the backyard.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Simone calls you for this. But now you go on a triple run and you got your own hotel room every night. And you feel fucking invincible. You know, you just feel, it's touring, man.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. You know,
all
you go
part of
out
it.
there, you go into different hotels, and the triple runs, they're fucking dumps. They're look for the worst hotel in town. That's where you're staying on the triple run.
Yeah.
The doors don't lock. The water's cold.
Bedbug City.
Yeah, the bed bugs. The windows are broken. Like, I can't imagine going on a triple run now.
I can't imagine doing all the dates on a motorcycle now like I did. You know, I think about that all the time of like, man, I was riding in the freezing cold or the boiling heat or the fucking sandstorms. Doing date. I mean, I can't even imagine that now.
How have you felt lately? How is your
My
mental
neck's
state?
feeling pretty fucking good.
No, your mental state with all that's going on.
Ah, man.
Comedy.
Yeah.
It's been 3.5 months for you also. I know you keep in touch with Mark and Bill and stuff. How is it going in your world, man?
That's fucking horrible. I can only play it off so much, you know? It's just, I mean, I'm alive. I've got my health, and there's people that are way, way bad. But I'm not going to lie, man. It was my life, and it's just gone. It's completely gone. So I sit home a lot of nights and think, wow, what am I going to do? I love my podcast. And so I'm throwing all my energy and creativity into my podcast and my Patreon people. I'm doing live Zooms with them, and that's really helping me as much as it's helping them. You know, Saturday night I do Zoom Fest instead of Ari Shroom Fest. And I get the Patreoners up there, and we do shit like this.
I'm going to start zooming on Patreon also.
I love it, man.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's good for me. It's good for them. I think that, you know, there's people that aren't seeing people. You know, they're used to going to work and talking to coworkers.
Right.
and it's great. You talk on the phone and stuff. Listen, I try to check in with as many people as I can, but I also, in a way, try to check in social distance if I can with people.
Oh,
you know?
Little face
Just
to
see
face, 10
somebody,
feet, 6 feet away.
Even with a mask on, we're cool. You know, we're cool. You know, I think it's when you gather. I think that's the big thing.
That's the problem.
I think that's the problem. But I'm not a scientist.
I don't know.
I don't know. So I'm avoiding it. I am in a great position that I could avoid it. I pray for people.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to In-N-Out Burger, look at those huts. There's no social distancing in that hut.
No.
You're going to eat a Corona burger one day from In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
It's eminent.
Yeah.
One day, some guy's going to go in there at 10 in the morning, chop up onions.
Totally.
He's going to say something to Lee. Hey, what's up? How was the movie last night? You're in the hut, this big, cooking for 8 hours.
Oh, yeah,
Once
man.
you get that Corona burger going in the air, that's going to spread like fucking contamination.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting them down. I'm not saying nothing bad about In-N-Out. I'm just, when I drive past there, because the Goodwill is over there.
Yeah.
So whenever I turn around, and the Goodwill is fucking closed.
It is closed.
really
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
It's closed.
It's fucking closed.
Yeah.
I went over there to dump shit off again. Closed.
Yeah.
So I had to take it to a different men's shelter. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Shit's fucking closed, man. What do you see for the comedy in the next 6 months? Do you see yourself flying? Do you see yourself driving?
Well, I really don't. I really have no idea. As much as look, it's easy for me to do comedy right now. I talked to you about it. You pull up behind, say, the Brea Improv. You walk through the kitchen. You walk on stage. You do your set with your microphone. You walk out and you wait in your car for the next show. That's easy to do to stay safe. To me, it's more about the fans. I can't imagine. They're going so crazy. They want to get out of the house that they're not thinking, and the venue maybe is not thinking all the way together. Bathrooms, the line, everything. And then they get in there and somebody gets sick and, dies or something. I just couldn't live with that. It's like, so as much as I want to do comedy and I want to help the people, besides doctors, comics are the next people that everyone looks at to help them mentally and, when they're in a bad state, when America's in a bad state, when 9/11 happened and everybody was like, whoa, comics helped, when something tragic happens, comedy helps ease it. It's right after doctors in my eyes. And here we are, these guys that have been doing this for years, and we can't help people. So it's horrific to me that we can't, and I'm not going to do a Zoom show. It doesn't, so I'd rather just Zoom hang. I'm not going to do Zoom comedy. It's just not, it's not.
I'll Zoom hang with
a Zoom hang
people on Patreon.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll Zoom hang.
I love it.
Thinking about it just to get to know people.
Yeah, and they
get to say hello.
They laugh and they love it.
It's
and
a fucking half hour of your time.
It's great.
Mercy goes to bed at 9. My wife goes to bed at 9:30.
Perfect.
I'm alone.
Yeah.
I'm alone. So I write. I try to fucking stay away from the TV.
Oh yeah.
As much as I can.
I don't know.
I have just between the TV. The other day I saw something that was so fucking bad on Twitter. I almost canceled my account.
Wow.
Somebody on Twitter wrote that on July 30th, all the benefits were going to run out, and he couldn't wait. So he could see a bunch of fucking assholes dry up like a SpongeBob, like SpongeBob or something like that. And I looked at the guy's name, and it was a real account, you know, and I'm like, what would make somebody write that? How fucking miserable.
People wishing ill on other people.
So that's evil. There's evil in the air. I'm scared of two things by going on the road. Number one, obviously, Corona spreading.
Chris.
And number two, the uncertainty. We are, as Americans, we're very uncertain right now. We're having issues. I don't know what you're thinking. You might seem great to me, but you haven't paid rent in 4 months.
Right.
And the sheriff's knocking on my door. Ain't it funny how the time flies?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what you're going through.
Yeah.
You know, these people, I know it's the fucking 20th of the month, and I've been seeing moving trucks. I rode the bicycle on Saturday and Sunday, and I've been seeing moving trucks. So what is that telling me? People are abandoning ship.
Yeah.
That's the number they're not giving you. The people that are leaving L.A. because Lee and Steve Simone saw moving trucks 3 a day.
Yeah.
All of fucking June and July, you know?
What I don't understand, nobody's talking about, is this entire city is built on the business. The cameramen, the set carpenters, the makeup people, the extras, the script writers. And that's zillions of jobs. No one's working. It's about to just completely buckle. And people are like, well, when's the clubs opening back up?
It drives me crazy.
I'm like, what?
It drives me crazy.
What are you talking about? People
Nothing.
don't have jobs right now, man.
It drives me crazy. Like, there's a limit you could push.
Yeah.
There's a limit you could push. You know, like I've said before, when you drive down Melrose, it's going to take 2 years. For me to see, remember the night that the guys from that company came and we did dabs with them, and the restaurant was packed behind us? Do you remember what night I'm talking about?
On the improv, at the
At
improv?
the Improv. Yeah, on Melrose. You know, I want you to close your eyes and think about that night. We crossed the street on Melrose. He took out a fucking torch, and we started dabbing with those
Gumis Hermanos.
Los Gumis Hermanos, my Peter,
Yeah.
the Gumis Hermanos, and his brother came down here. And I was thinking about that. And Lee and I, and those 4 guys, and their 2 wives, and 6 fans, you know, we ran across the street, and everybody was smoking pot. You know, I think I had done a spot there. Like, I was just doing a spot there.
Right.
But how busy was the place, Lee? The parking lot was busy.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's a restaurant across the street.
Yeah,
with
big
those,
O's, red
with
O's,
those
or whatever.
torches, those
Yeah,
fire torches.
Yeah.
And
They're gone.
Lee and I were 20 feet from there, fucking blowing fucking dabs.
Dab smoke.
I remember I did one dab and I fucking went deaf, and I'm like, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm scared of the fire and shit.
Yeah.
But I just take my mind to that and go, okay, that was like a soft night in Melrose. That was like a Thursday night. We had a lot of fun. We were home by 11.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is there was action. When will I see that action again? All right, so now you got to definitely think November till after the election,
Right.
right? We're already talking about the election. But then you're looking at cities like Philadelphia who have canceled entertainment until March of 2021.
That's nuts.
You know how many cities are going to jump on board with that? Like, no entertainment till fucking February?
That's exactly 1 year.
That's exactly 1 year.
My last
Fucking-
spot was March 12th.
Yeah, my heart goes out to the club in Philly.
Oh, Helium.
Helium. My heart goes out to him. He called me a few weeks ago. He was doing a contest, like a comedy contest and stuff like that. That closed for a fucking year. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to Jimmy's Seafood. I took an edible one night with Lee and I got fucked up and I was craving fucking crab cakes. That's one of those nights you got to take the credit card away from me. And I bought some crab cakes online. My wife, I woke up the next day and they fucking hooked me up. Jimmy's Crab Cake is in Baltimore. They're fucking tremendous. When I went to Baltimore, I actually went there. They're good friends with Ryan Sickler. And let me tell you something, their delivery comes like a day later. But they hooked me up with some crab soup, which I ate the other night when I had the edibles with a bunch of saltine crackers. They got fucking the best crab cakes. Fucking better than Phillips. Fuck Phillips. It's Jimmy's Crab Cakes, bitches. Go to Jimmy's Seafood. Jimmy's Seafood. That's Jimmy's Seafood. But they got the best crab cakes.
Don't forget the tacos, too.
The fucking tacos. What's the name?
1986 tacos.
I saved mine. I got another one over
And they're
there.
huge fans of you.
I love them. I'm going to have to stop in there and
Victor
shit.
and Joy.
You go in there fucking like 8 times a week.
I
don't you?
know. I told him, I was like, I got to get out of here. I want to turn into a blog.
And they have the plate and everything. They got like the rice and bean plate.
No, they don't fuck around. It's straight Tijuana style. Taco, quesadilla, and the vampiros or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. They don't fuck.
What's a vampiro?
It's like a like a tortilla, then the meat, and then another, like almost like a sandwich, and then another tortilla.
So they like melt cheese on top of it.
Yeah, they do.
Not there, I had it somewhere else. Those are good.
Yeah. And then they got the Topo Chico, and they got the fucking, they got a secret menu too. If you say, give me the secret one with the beans, they'll do the tacos with beans, and that's so good, man. Love it.
I've checked in with you every day during this quarantine.
I love it, Phil. I love you for that.
You've made me smile because I know how I've been feeling. Some days at 2:00, you just look at that sun and you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is
Can't
going
believe
on?
it.
Where's Brody? Yeah, where's the rope at? Where's Brody leave his rope at?
Fuck, man.
This is terrible.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, this is fucking horrible. And like I said, my wife is, she's already started the fucking process, man. We're getting the bank loan, the whole fucking thing.
I can't believe you're moving, man.
Yeah, we don't know where yet, but...
I told you that. I said, you came over. I told Ian Edwards this story. I go, Joey called me, and when he calls me and says, where are you at? I'm coming by. He never comes by. You know what I'm saying? He never comes by. Something's up. So I go downstairs, I meet out front, you pull out, you get out of your car, and you go, we're out of here, Dean. Yeah. And I said, what? I didn't understand what you're talking about. Yep, we're moving. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. But I get it. I said this about 100 times this week. If everything in LA that we love that makes it worth the highest gas in America, the highest car insurance, the highest rent besides New York and San Francisco, if everything is gone that we love, it's a level playing field now. Every city is the same. Now you got to find a spot that's cheap, that you enjoy being inside. Now it is about the house or the apartment you live in. It's not about the city or the town, because you're going to be inside because there's nothing going on. So it's a level playing field. I looked up gas prices in Arizona, $1.82. I looked up gas prices in New Jersey, $1.48. I looked up, you know what I'm saying, gas prices here, $4. So you can go somewhere. Yeah, I live here because I absolutely love it. The weather, my friends, and the stores, and the clubs. And the rock and roll. I love everything about it. But if it's all gone, I need to live somewhere where it's cheap. And like I said, it's a level playing field now. Every city's the same. Every city's the same. Some have snow. Some have fucking... Tornadoes.
Some have a lot of homeless.
Yeah.
Some have... it's just... And I'm not... You want me to tell you something? Like, I had to write it out. I'm not even sad about leaving.
Right.
There's one thing I'm sad about, and that's my uncle.
Yeah.
He's 82.
Oh, wow.
He's been living with cancer for 10 years. But you got to remember, when I moved here, the plan was to fail, pack my stuff, stop over by him, stab him in the heart, and then get in the car and move to New Jersey. It took me 25 years to come up with the courage to apologize.
Yeah.
I didn't apologize to a lot of people. It took me 25 years to the date almost. 25 years and a month. And I got a call in 2009. What it took? Yeah. 2009. What's 84?
Yeah. 84, yeah.
2009, I got a weird call for a movie that actually paid.
Yeah.
Like, it was like after the writer's strike, they were all $100 a day movies.
Yeah.
But I got a call to read in Malibu. And I fucking went to Malibu.
Malibu, what a haul.
What a weird way to read.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever read for this chick.
Yeah.
And I went out there and read for it. And on the drive back, I go, I know this spot. I fucking know this spot. And I pulled over to the spot, and I go, why do I know this spot? And I go, my uncle brought me here when I was a kid a couple times. This is the beach we would go to.
Yeah.
And I fucking whipped out my phone. I never forgot his number. I called him, and he answered. and I told him in Spanish, listen, this is Jose Antonio, don't hang up on me. I just want to tell you, when I came out here in 1984, I was fucked up, and I'm embarrassed for what I did to you, and I just want to apologize like a man. I live here in L.A. I've lived here for the last
20 years.
10 years, you know. I'm a comedian. I've been in movies. You can look me up, and you have my number. If you want to meet with me, call me back. And he goes, no, let's talk. And we started talking, and then we met up at his bar that Saturday night. He had like a weapon hidden because he didn't know if I was crazy. And we've been, you know, he answered all the questions I needed answered about my mother, my family, my life, who I was. You know, he's old. So the phone rings from him. Like the other night, Lee called me. He's like, are you sleeping or are you mad? I go, no. What I wanted to tell Lee is I just got off the phone with my uncle, and it was a brutal hour in Spanish. He's telling me about Cookie Rojas. And it's like when you talk to your father.
Yeah.
And it's an hour. When I talk to my uncle, like, I got to, like, wipe my hands for an hour. It's going to be an hour conversation. Okay? It could go to baseball, music, black people, racism, pussy. With him, he's so fucking great to talk to. Like, he's told me about all my cousins, all my uncles, my sister, he filled me in on, his sisters, my mother's brothers. He filled me in on, I didn't know what my grandfather did. My grandfather was a junkie dude.
Yeah.
He collected junk and fixed it and then sold it on the streets of Cuba to the tourists, He goes, he was great. He was a hustler. He goes, that's where you get it from, your grandfather. This week he called me up. He's like, do you have a minute? I got it. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I got it. He goes, for the last fucking 2 years, I've been banging my head off the wall, figuring out who you look like.
Oh, fuck.
He goes, and I got it. He goes, Rosita. He goes, you and Rosita have the same cheeks and the same nose, just like your daughter. I've been sitting here for hours comparing the pictures. He just goes off on tangents. But
He doesn't want to leave it.
That's going to be future Joey.
Huh?
That's going to be future Joey.
What do you mean future? It is current
no
Joey.
shit. And he'll call me while he's eating. He eats peanuts every night. So I can hear him breaking peanuts. And he gets mad as he's talking to me. He talks to me about racism, how they treated him badly in Cuba. How a dog pissed on him one time. But that dog pissing on him changed his life.
Yeah.
It brought him good luck. The other kids all died. But the dog pissed on him. Just shit that's so deep and he has so much wisdom.
Right.
So the other day I was just sitting there and I was like making like an Abraham Lincoln close, like when you write down the good stuff
Yeah.
and the bad stuff. And I gotta tell you, man, I broke down. I had to hit my cousin with an email, and I told her first, and she was like, "Bro, he's really gonna miss you."
Oh, yeah.
And I go, "You don't think that motherfucker molded me? Ever since I've been talking to him,
Yeah.
I've done a lot better with my life. Like, I got happier after every conversation because he answered. He even answered some hard questions I had to ask him
Yeah.
that weren't pleasant for him. He answered them all like a man. So I told my wife, I go, my relationship with him during this whole comedy thing for the last 11 years has been gold. Don't get me wrong. We've had our disagreements.
Of course.
We've broken up twice in those 11 years. For about 3 months, we won't talk to each other. Because I told him one night, he got pissed at me. He goes, I don't know what to do. The bar is slow. And I was all fucked up on reefer. And I'm like, Tio, why don't you get a hooker down there and let's sell some coke? I'll get the mafia down there. He's like, stop with the mafia. And he hung up on me.
Stop with the mafia.
So that's the only thing
Yeah.
that would really break me down is saying goodbye to that fucking Weezer, because it's legit. That's the end of my family tree.
Yeah.
Once he goes, that's it. I love my cousins. I don't talk to my cousins.
Right.
I talk to the girl, Our relationship never really blossomed. We never really had time. He's a school principal. I talked to my cousin. She got mad at me once or twice. But my cousin came to a couple sets. She came to see me shoot a few movies, a few TV shows. So her and I are cool. She really loves Mercy. So yeah, that's what I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss the thing that's kept me together, the thing that helped me become the man that I am today, my uncle. I'm going to miss him a lot. We talk a lot about a lot of shit, and, you know.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. How can they find you?
Podcast. When's this out?
Today.
Today.
Monday.
Oh, today. Podcast. Let There Be Talk. I've got Daryl, DMC, on the show today.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Great episode with that guy. The legend from Run DMC, Daryl. DMC.
You are a fucking savage.
Guys.
Delray. You moved over this thing.
Yeah.
You were looking for the cheapest apartment.
Yeah.
I always talk about you on the podcast. I tell people how I used to walk around the streets of New York with your backpack.
Yeah.
Waiting for a hotel tonight to open up.
True.
Waiting to save $100, and you called me one night, like from the fucking lounge or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, I got it for $49, dude. Rad.
Yeah, at the stand, man. I would sit in the stand till around 1:30, and there it is. Boom. Cheap hotel on Hotels Tonight, you know. You're gambling on that, but... You know, I'm glad I did the 10 years of comedy, and I'm still doing comedy, hopefully. I mean, if we get a vaccine, it's on. It is on. But if we weren't ever able to do it again, it was the greatest 10 years of my life, hands down. It smoked everything I did in my life. I've done a ton of great shit, but nothing comes close to the comedy, the fans that I've met, and my friends, you, Bill, Marin, Ian, you know, the Comedy Store family, all that. It's just, I'll never forget it.
Just remember one thing, because I was beating myself up a little bit last week, and I got to be as honest as I can with you. My dick is hard.
Yeah.
My dick is hard. I'm going to tell you why. Because I was focusing on not doing comedy. Again, the reason why we do this fucking podcast is to fucking,
Put butts in the seats.
It's to open people's eyes.
Yeah.
I want to open people's eyes. I did this podcast to fucking reverse my thinking. This is my therapy, So the therapy was this. I was beating I came on the podcast last week and actually said what you said, like I'm miserable without stand-up, which I am.
Yeah.
I really am. And we don't have a fucking crystal ball.
Nope.
We here at the church, you, Bill Burr, Ali Wong, we don't have a crystal ball. But nobody could call when you're going to start. Yeah, I could go on a drive-in tour and have you beep a horn at me. And you know what? When it comes back, it comes back. And guess what? I get a second chance to start over.
Yeah.
How much fun is that going to be?
Dude, it's going to be nuts. I thought about that.
How much fun is that going to be?
Completely start over.
Whether I move to Tennessee, Indianapolis, Texas, everywhere there's a subculture of rooms.
Yeah.
Like somebody's got a subculture of rooms.
Of course.
Like, yeah, in Phoenix they got, the House of Comedy, the Tempe Improv, the Phoenix Improv. But there's a chubby Mexican dude who's got 3 bars.
Yeah.
And he pays $40. And that's just fine because guess what? I'll be worth $40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't want to go out and make people pay $25 to come see me.
Ground zero.
I'm not going to be worth $25.
Brand new.
So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I hope that everything works out and the Comedy Store does open because that's the perfect place to start from ground zero.
Totally.
Oh,
I love it.
I would jerk off on the way down the hill. That I'm going to the original room to do. And then you just call in Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
That's it. It becomes brand new again. It's a new job. Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Take the weekend off because you're not worth it. You're not worth it to perform on Saturday.
Yeah.
Are you really worth it?
Yeah,
Are you really going to tell me you're worth it? No, you're not.
These aren't Saturday night jokes.
That's what I would do.
I feel the same way.
I'm looking forward to start over.
Yeah.
When that date is, I have no idea. But you know what? I can't worry about that. I can just make myself stronger today, Monday, January the 20th. I can just make myself stronger. A couple push-ups, maybe write something. Do I have the clarity and the focus to write comedy? I can crack a few jokes with Lee. I could bust your balls a little bit.
Yeah.
But to write a set, I haven't taken that much Alpha Brain yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By the way, I brought you some New Mood.
Oh, yeah, New Mood.
And, because you said you're having problems sleeping, I brought you some Kikoko These things are fucking tremendous. And read what's in them. So tell people what's in it.
Cannabis infused botanical mints, microdosed. This is great.
How
3
strong?
milligrams of CBN, which Joey said the CBN is different than CBD. It's another level. 2 milligrams of THC, so this will make good sleep in here.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's a guy like you does not get high.
No.
2 milligrams. You start with 2.
Yeah.
Then you eat a half of 1. You take your CBD Lion.
Sleep mints. Yeah, I got CBD Lion like crazy.
So what you do is you don't get hooked on those. You eat one night, you CBD Lion it the other night.
Yeah.
So nothing really sticks.
No,
if you eat
you don't get
melatonin
immune,
3 nights in a row, you're done. You're not gonna people. Well, eat melatonin. That works for fucking. If you drink listen.
Yeah.
What's that drink that people used to drink to energize themselves?
5 Hour Energy.
Oh, the Red Bulls.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
People started getting cancer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Red Bulls.
Everybody's in a rush. Now you got cancer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are you in a rush for? Everyone wants to stay up for 10 days.
Yeah.
Do meth. Stop. Stop with the fucking Red Bull.
Do the real stuff.
Yeah. Don't do meth. You're going to drink a Red Bull and stay up. No, you're not. If Red Bull does something to you, you're a pussy.
Red Bull
shouldn't
is
do nothing
weak.
to you. It's weak.
Yeah.
If you get off for 12 hours on Red Bull, don't even go eat ranch dressing. You might as well go shoot yourself now.
There goes that sponsorship.
Which one?
Red Bull.
You know what'd be funny, Joey? I look forward to like maybe in 2 years when someone says, man, you became a better comic after the COVID.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen.
I look forward to that.
I'm not depressed no more.
Yeah.
That looking at it from that perspective changed everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a little bored.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sad anymore.
No.
I don't have that little brokenness no more. I had it for about 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie to nobody. It hit me a little hard that, this is, hey, listen, and you guys know it. If you were doing something, if you're listening to this, if you were doing something for 5 years and you stop losing your job, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Think of 29 and think of having a family and having a comedy family is what I mean. We all have families.
Yeah.
But having a comedy family that you haven't seen. And now, little by little, they're bailing. Now the waitresses are starting to bail.
I tell you what, though, the COVID, as bad as it is, it was probably a good thing for me because I was talking to Marin about this where I couldn't take a rest and I couldn't take a vacation or anything because I was at this point in my career where you can't. So
Guess what?
Yeah.
We're always at that point.
Always. That's what Mark said. He
Where
goes,
we can. Always. The day you start comedy,
Yeah.
that's it. When
can't
you
stop.
really, really start comedy, you'll see it. The day you really fall in love with comedy, you'll see it.
Yeah.
You'll see when you sell the TV, you downsize your apartment because you're used to it. You're getting ready for the apocalypse.
Totally.
Your own personal apocalypse. You control it. You shut off everything. You know what? I love comedy so much, I'm going to move into the fucking office and join the YMCA and take a shower.
Absolutely.
And pay $7.50, $50. I get a rent. And I live how I want to live. I don't eat in here, so you don't get rats.
Right.
You eat outside, eat on the corner, but that's what you do.
Full vision, man. Like
Full vision
like the
comedy,
horse track. The horse is a Kentucky Derby, man. It's right here. This is it. So one good thing is my neck is fucking about 95% great. My blood pressure is completely back to normal. It's unreal.
When did it raise?
It raised right around when the neck injury happened because they say when your body's injured, your blood pressure goes up. And I couldn't get it under control, man. I was exercising every day and I didn't eat any salt or anything. And I never had high blood pressure. And, lack of sleep, getting up at 5 a.m. to get an Uber to LAX.
Yes.
Oh, my God, it's going to be canceled. Fuck yeah, man. And then, got to get new material, got to get gigs. Oh, I got to make money. All that had it cooking. And now it's just level.
That's it. And now we control where we want to go.
Totally.
We're older comics, so we control exactly where we want to go. Don't forget, Saturday is 40-year anniversary of Back in Black. And for us, it's going to be a great day. I'm going to fucking celebrate it. I'm going to smoke some reefer. Maybe do some type of fucking tube. I don't know what. But it's going to be it's phenomenal that I even lived to look back at it.
I feel the same
That's
way.
what I
Can't believe we're alive.
I can't believe I'm alive to look
Yeah.
back at it. You know, Timmy Holloway, my brother, he's listening to this. I want this podcast is dedicated to him. He's going to have a rough week this week, and my heart goes out to my little brother, Timmy. I want to thank Dean Del Rizzi. I want to thank my man, the Christ Killer, and I want to thank you motherfuckers. I got no dates, but like Dean, I got a patreon.com/Joey Diaz, $1. I want the commitment. No more fucking around, no more idiots saying that. Trust me, the comments I've read lately on Facebook and Twitter have been fucking disgusting. So I'm keeping it simple. Videos, Zooms, blogs, vlogs, whatever the fuck you need, $1. It's me, slinging dick. Take a chance Columbus did. I want to thank Dean Delray.
Yeah.
I want to thank the Christ Killer. And I want to thank you motherfuckers. Stay black. Kick this fucking mule, Lee.